Evening and welcome to Vanessa Loves. I just wanted to pop on tonight, and because I know it's been a couple of months since I've posted a Vanessa Loves video, but there's something that's been going round and round and round for me that I've had some very enlightening conversations over the last few days with some gorgeous, I'm so blessed to have these people in my life, Gina Hardy, Steve Carr, Craig DeBecky, Judith Germain particularly, and it's really made me realise that it's so imperative for us to understand that our vortex is our life and our life is our vortex. What do I mean by that? This weekend I kind of felt a bit poked, a bit aggravated and a bit triggered as a couple of my old stories were coming up, and it was really interesting because I was working with some friends and colleagues on a wellbeing retreat, and one of them said to me, "It's really wonderful to see that you who teaches us this still has their shitty times." And it does make me smile when I hear that, because I don't have my shit together. Nobody has their shit together. I personally believe it's not possible to have all our ducks in a row. I think the best, and I think the highest expectation that we can feel to that harmony when they are all in a row is that even if they're constantly moving. For me, it's not about balance. For me, it is about harmony and flow. And I had a long conversation with my dear friend Gina yesterday, and when I came off the call with her, I actually drew this on my wall, and I'll put the image, I'll pop the image of this in the comments underneath. But here's what I drew. This is our inner knowing, our inner being. And I've drawn this many times before, but not quite like this. And this really turned me on. This really got me understanding why I had felt so triggered, why I had got caught up in my own story. And here's the interesting thing, that any negative emotion that we feel, any fear that we feel, has no power over us unless we give it that power. I liken it to the bumpers on a bowling alley. If you've ever gone bowling with the kids, they have the bumpers up on the alley to stop you going down the rut. I believe that any negative emotion that we feel, any negative circumstance, if we experience any negativity in the world, particularly within ourselves, for me it's like those bumpers on a bowling alley are really just an indication to say, hey girlfriend, you're focusing on the wrong thing. So here's what I want to understand, help us understand about how important this vortex is. Here's our inner knowing, our soul, and if you want to call it living in your heart center. The most important thing for us to do on a daily basis as individuals is to stay centered in self, and that's what this red line indicates here. The way this vortex happens, and we know that the stillest place within a vortex, science tells us that the stillest place within a vortex is in the center. This vortex represents our life, and our life represents the vortex. What do I mean by that? Is that when we are feeling off center, like I have done this past weekend, out of sorts is possibly another way to describe it, is because we attach ourselves and we focus on the wrong thing, the things that don't make us feel good, there is one flow in this universe, and that flow is love. If we are not focusing on that love, that loving flow that just wants to take us downstream, and for some reason, because of our stories and our old belief systems that keep us stuck, and the image of stuck is if we put our boat on the stream and we get in it and we start rowing upstream. You know that feeling where it feels hard work, uphill, treacle. It's painful, it's frustrating, we feel angry, we feel blame, we feel shame, with all of those negative emotions, and you know the negative emotions, they are very familiar to us. It's an indication that our focus is not on what we love, is not on what makes us feel good, is not on what we're grateful for. So what I have done here, and like I say, I'll pop the image in the comments so that you can see the kind of things that I've written. on here: love, belief, trust, service, fun, kindness, gratitude, excitement, acceptance, connection, abundance, wealth, smiles, harmony, laughing, meditation, miracles, music, self-care. There's so many things that help me feel good, that help me feel in alignment with my truest self. The reason I am here is to experience life at its best. And at its best for me personally, and for every one of us. I get asked this question so much: how do I align myself with my positive vortex? And that is anything that helps you feel good. What's important to you? What helps you feel good? What makes your heart sing? You might like rock and roll music, I might like blues music. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact that we recognize what makes us feel good, that is what will bring us out of what I call the shit pit, that story of me that I get caught up in that's just not true. And I was triggered this weekend by an old pattern of mine: I'm unlovable, I'm not important, I'm invisible, it's not safe. And the interesting thing for me is that every time this story comes up, I recognize it quicker. I didn't this time, even though I recognized it. I chose to stay there because I thought it would give me the attention that I wanted. What happened is it gave me fear-based attention, which is never good, rather than love-based attention. The main thing it made me realize is the reason I felt sick in my stomach, the reason I was feeling anger, frustration, any of those negative emotions that we're so familiar with. The reason I felt like that is because I had taken my focus off what helps me feel good, what's important to me, and off myself, off my own self-care. I'd let things slip a bit, and I'm so glad that the bumpers came up to poke me and were there as an indication to say, hey girlfriend, focus on what makes you feel good. Our inner knowing, our inner guidance system, our inner being knows what turns us on, knows how to tune us in, knows how to tap into the very things that help us feel good. And your vortex, our vortex, is what creates our lives. It's up to you how you choose to fill that vortex and what you choose to fill it with. The indication that you will live a positive existence, or you will feel the strength from your loving positive existence, is if you can fill that vortex with the things that you love. And by aligning yourself with the center of your vortex, with the things that help you feel good, feeling is secret, then you open up the channels for the things that are meant for you, right for you, whether that be people, opportunities, circumstances, wealth, health, you name it. Align yourself with what makes you feel good. That's where all possibilities can come in. The focus, my friends, the end goal for me is aligning myself with the center of my vortex, the center of what helps me feel good. You know, I was making a cup of tea earlier, and I don't know if you've heard the quote, women are like tea bags. I'd like to think that actually people are like tea bags, women, man and child. And I was making a peppermint tea, and because I obviously don't have any milk in it, I put some cold water in with the tea bag, and then I put it under the kettle for the water to drop in. And I was quite surprised that as I moved the tea bag around, nothing really happened in the bit of cold water I'd put in the bottom until hot water came in. Now that quote that I love so much is, women are like, or people are like tea bags. You never know their full strength until you drop them in hot water. And I was reminded of that this morning while I was making this cup of tea, because I thought, you know what, sometimes, every time, we actually need that negative feeling, we need that negative emotion, we need that impact, that emotional impact, that nudge in the side, that bumper on the bowling alley, to help us choose a better feeling thought. And we can only choose from a place of contrast. How many times have you felt pissed off or upset and you go, that's it? There's that motivation, there's that power to focus on what you do want, because you don't want to feel crappy around a certain person anymore, or you don't want to feel aggravated by this situation anymore, or the circumstance that happened, or an opportunity that's not happening. You get your teeth stuck into something. There's the passion, there's the power. There's where your magnificence shows up, and you make a choice from a place of contrast, and you make a decision that helps you feel good. It's all about feeling good. Think about the things you want in your life, whether it's a person, a house, a job, a car, a holiday, whatever. We only want these things because we think they're going to help us feel better. What else is going to help you feel better? Just decide to feel better now. Then those things come in. I just wanted to share that with you because it's been going round and round in my head since the weekend. And with the conversations I'd had with my dear colleagues, and then I'd get a couple of messages from friends and colleagues saying, I've missed your videos. I hope to see you soon. Just made me think I'm just going to press go and show up. I'd love to know your thoughts. Vanessa loves recognizing when I am poked by negative emotion. What's going on in your life right now that's not helping you, that's not, you're not feeling great about? You're feeling below par, you're feeling bored, frustrated. Okay is not good. Okay is better than angry, but okay is not as good as passionate or excited or enthusiastic or loving. Where are you feeling aggravated right now? Have a good look at it and flip it. It takes a split second. The most frustrating thing I did find on the weekend was I was feeling a bit frustrated about something. I had a phone call from my darling sister that helped raise my vibration, helped me feel better. We had a fabulous conversation, and here's the thing. I know what I'm talking about. I believe what I'm talking about, but I'm human. I recognise that I went from feeling a bit sad and frustrated and all my old story stuff to actually feeling better. And here's what I did when I put the phone down to my sister. I went, oh my God, I don't want to feel better. I want to wallow back down here. So I took myself back down in that place. And the frustrating thing is you can, at times, draw other people into that if they let you. And that's what's not good. Keep yourself strong, keep yourself centered, and then around you, watch everything shift. Thank you for joining me on Vanessa Loves today. Bye-bye.